They probably just decide they're not keeping it forever because a lot of people post stuff and it never happens. So after 2 hours, it's getting deleted. That's probably the philosophy there.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't go live on LinkedIn.
Oh, you didn't set it up?
Yeah, no, I logged back in, but it's because it's saying LinkedIn doesn't allow going live more than 50 minutes early or more than 2 hours late.
Yeah, but we're not either.
I know. I just clicked on go live. It's not letting me.
All right.
Hold on, let me try.
Try again.
And we're live.
Woohoo!
Stupid thing.
Welcome back to Silicon Scoop, everyone. Oh, that's the wrong one. I had something ready here, but I lost it. So let me close that down. Welcome back to Silicon Scoop. With me, as always, is my co-host John Irwin, and I'm the startup coach. Let's dive into this. Molecular hard drive technology represents a paradigm shift in how we store digital information. This revolutionary storage mechanism encodes data at a molecular level by manipulating the chemical state of individual molecules through redox and ion accumulation process. The storage medium consists of approximately 200 organometallic complex OCM molecules. You're going to tell me how to pronounce it in a second. Arranged in a precise self-assembled monolayer configuration, SAM. Each molecular unit functions as a tiny storage cell capable of holding multiple bits of information. And apparently these can grow like high as 100 terabytes now.
Yeah. With a limit of, I think it's like 50 hours or 50 to 200 hours. No, this is cool though. So yeah, so the technology centers around these organometallic complex molecules. They're called RUXLPH, and they consist. And so this kind of is over my head a little bit. I tried to do a deep dive into this, but so this consists of these RUX plus, which are paired with CTP and TPP, and so these are approximately 200 molecules, and they're arranged in a kind of a self-assembled monolayer, and it's configured on a glass substrate for now. So the way the storage mechanism operates is through two coupled processes. So it's a counterbalanced redox reaction between the metal citation and the organic ligands and the local ion drifting of chlorine anions. So when voltage is applied, and it's applied via a conductive atomic force microscope, which I've never heard of before until this article, short form C-AFM. It's so it's the tip with a 25 nanometer radius. So the ions switch between oxidation state while chlorine anions migrate within the molecular structure, and that creates a unique conductance state that represents the stored data. That's a lot. It's super. Let's just put it this way. This is super cool. So just to kind of put this into perspective, right now, all hard drives essentially work. Let's call traditional hard drives. They work on magnetism. That's it. So this, like you said, this is a fundamental shift, right? And this is cool. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, we've been talking slowly, a few times about DNA and molecular-based storage over time, and this seems to be the natural progression of those technologies. I think this is really cool for a number of reasons. I like that we're moving away from magnetic because we've used magnetic for a long, long period of time.
Yeah.
Also, magnetic seems to be, although it works pretty well, is easy, disruptive in times of warfare when you got, the electromagnetic pulses, EMPs and stuff potentially as a thing. So if we could move away from that, I would be happy. I know I'm living in some sort of future where, you know, everyone's walking around with EMPs in their pocket. I just prefer not to be vulnerable for those things. Plus, you know, moving to a one more secure and two more scalable technology, meaning like at a molecular level and at a small level, we can actually store so much more information now.
Yeah. So I did something different for this one. I asked it to come up with an opening hook, and this is what it came up with. Imagine storing the entire Netflix catalog in a device the size of a grain of rice with built-in encryption so advanced that even quantum computers couldn't crack it. That's the revolutionary promise of molecular hard drives. I love it because it captures it all. So it's cool. I think there's so I think right now the most advanced hard drive technology is called Hammer, heat assisted magnetic recording, which is currently being commercialized by Seagate with 30 plus terabyte drives. I think that's where we're at right now. Is that right? Or did you find that at all when you were doing your research?
I did not look for that, but I can I can
Okay, no,
look
that's
for
fine.
that.
No. So it's so um the thing about this though is right, the current implementation, there's a lot of manufacturing hurdles. And that's the biggest thing is the lifespan of the CAFM, oh my god, the microscope tips. So they're used for reading and writing operations. So these tips only last 50 to 200 hours, and that's an intermittent mode. And that's what I was talking about earlier. And they last 50 to 5 to 50 hours in continuous operation. So that's a huge bottleneck for commercial viability, having to replace those every few days or every couple of days. And also the molecular storage units, they require precision environmental control, such as because humidity affects the electrical performance so much. So yeah, it's there's a lot of hurdles here and a lot to overcome. Is there anything else that that you found, Craig?
Yeah, so I just took a quick look. Currently, maximum capacity for commercially available hard drive is 36 terabytes.
Okay.
With the Seagate Exos M series. Anyway, so this is obviously surpasses 100 terabytes. The one thing I don't think you did mention is that performance isn't great. Speed.
No, I didn't mention. Yeah, let's talk about that.
So I just it seems to be more suited for near offline or near online or cold storage than direct access. Like if you talk about a network level, you want the hard disk or whatever, the fast storage access, and then there's near offline where it's slower, and then there's offline like tape backups and whatnot. So this will be more like the cold storage, slower type stuff. Did you see what the performance was like?
No, did you find out? I couldn't find out what the performance was like.
I'm just taking a look right now. I thought I made notes on this, but I know that specifically it said that the molecular drives suit archival and cold storage where density and security outweigh access speed requirements. So like you can store so much in a tiny space and it's so secure, but the performance isn't the greatest. And yeah, those tips, they'll figure out a new technology for that over time. So this is just a slowdown at this time. Like networking, like all this evolves. I remember when the first optical networking cards came into place, you know, they had these big clunky optical interfaces and whatnot that were like awkward. And then just a few years later, they had the smaller, clean, streamlined ones. It doesn't take long for all of this to change. And once they see the potential of this, that the technology will rapidly change.
Yeah. What I found was cool, and I just touched on it a little bit, is that the molecular hard drive implements a native XOR encryption, and it does that through single unit operations, which eliminates the need for separate encryption hardware, which is cool. So it's got it built in. So unlike traditional memory devices that require 2 units for XOR operations, this symmetric conductance switching enables single molecule XOR logic through the differential voltage application, which is cool. So if they are able to scale this up, you'll have built-in encryption.
Yeah, and that is where to go. We've been talking about what is next because we don't know how quickly quantum's going to break the type of encryption we have. And then, is it possible to apply this type of encryption that apparently quantum can't break, as far as we know, to a new form of RSA for the internet?
Yeah.
As we start to look at how long is only a few years away for that to be hacked, as we talked about a couple of days ago. So from a market adoption point of view, current timelines remain early research. So with commercial application likely years away, overcoming the tip lifespan limitation represents a critical milestone. Initial application will probably focus on specialized archival storage where extreme density justifies the higher cost and maintenance requirements. And broader adoption depends on solving durability issues and developing cost-effective manufacturing progress at a commercial scale. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. But, you know, as we start talking about molecular storage, before we get off this, I want to leave this with one thought. Right now, you know, taking a USB sticks out of a highly secure environment, they're checking, you know, everything you see in TV and movies and whatnot. And, you know, and I've worked at a few places where it's highly secure. They check everything coming in and out. This is going to change that because all of a sudden, if you've got molecular storage at that level, how are they going to find it? If you know, do it at a place and smuggle it out and stuff, it changes the game at an interesting level. So
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Let us know what you think. Is this a spy movie thriller thing, or molecular hard drive is going to be the thing of the future, or is there another technology that's going to blow this away? We'd love to hear what your thoughts are.
My question is when are we getting Johnny Mnemonic technology?
Well, don't we have that? Isn't that what Meta is doing with their glasses?
No, but that the Johnny Mnemonic was stored inside the brain.
Fair enough, but do you really want that? That's what Elon Musk is working on, I guess.
I don't want that.
All right.
Speaking of mind control.
The way we interact with technology is changing forever. For decades, humans have controlled devices through touch, voice, and typing. Now Apple has taken a giant leap forward with something that sounds like science fiction, controlling your iPhone with your thoughts. A brain-computer interface is a system that lets you talk directly to a computer. Apple just introduced its native BCI HID protocol, making this incredible technology real for everyday users. This breakthrough comes through a partnership with Synchron, a company that makes a special brain implant called Stentrode. What's going on here, John?
Yeah. So did we cover Synchron?
We covered earlier on. We did cover this, but they hadn't. They're not this far.
I remember, like there was this thing that gets implanted through blood vessels. But yeah, so the system that works through. So first off, kudos to Apple that's finally doing something innovative. Instead of just releasing same phones over year over year. So how the system works is unlike more invasive brain implants like Elon Musk's technology that require opening the skull, this device is inserted through blood vessels via the jugular vein. So that's why I think we might have covered this or a similar technology.
Yeah, we did. Go ahead.
So the device consists of a 16 electrode array mounted on a stent-like scaffold, and it's delivered through the jugular vein using standard catheter-based procedures. So that's familiar to interventional cardiologists, essentially, right? So once positioned inside a blood vessel over the motor cortex, the stentrode springs open to form a tubular scaffold that fits against the inner vessel wall. and it positions the electrodes to detect neural activity from nearby brain tissue. Then the signals are transmitted wirelessly to a receiver transmitter device implanted subcutaneously in the chest, which then communicates with external devices. So it's minimally invasive, and this approach allows the procedure to be performed under local anesthesia in a standard catheterization lab, and it significantly reduces surgical risk compared to Neuralinks and one chip. So this is cool. So you essentially need two devices, one in your brain and one in your chest. Do you think this is better? I think it's better than Neuralink, but I'm concerned that it's stuck in a blood vessel. That's the only concern I have.
Well, I think it's too early to tell if it's better or not. Like, the technologies will keep going.
It certainly seems safer.
It seems safer, and it seems more non-invasive, but the more you describe it, the more invasive it seems. Like, oh, you got to go through the chest, you got to do this, you got to do that. Oh, I don't like any of those types of things where you're talking about surgery or cutting in. I can't imagine getting LASIK eye surgery. Like, I can't watch surgery shows and stuff. Like, it's just a thing I can't do. So when you start talking about these things, it just freaks me out a little bit. So bear with me there. So, putting something in your jugular doesn't feel less invasive to me, but it probably is from a scientific point of view. So they have done 2 completed FDA approved human clinical trials since 2019, and they have also raised 145 million in funding to develop this mind control Apple devices technology. This is Synchron. The Stentro differs from other implants because there's no brain surgery, like you said, and movement. Brain signals intended for movement are instantly translated to the Apple device commands for seamless control via the jugular method. So clinical trial applicants were able to navigate apps, type messages, adjust settings purely through mental control alone. The technology provides independence for people with ALS, stroke, or severe spinal cord impairments.
Yeah.
So the brain control eliminates physical limitations that hinder eye tracking, voice command, and switch-based assistive devices. So this is very interesting, and Apple's ecosystem integration ensures that the brain control works with iOS, iPadOS, and visionOS accessibility features.
Yeah, what I like about this, what we're covering right now, is that the protocols is already built into iOS 26, iPadOS 26, and visionOS. So, and broader rollout is expected throughout 2025. So they're already, they've already got it. So like, it's not like this is a far-fetched pie in the sky. Oh, it's going to be years before we see something. So kudos to Apple for doing something like this. So this is really great of them.
Yeah, and apparently the motor cortex signal reading allows device control even without voluntary muscle movement. So you don't, like, it kind of detects brain signals in the jugular, which is very interesting.
Yes.
Patients can participate in social media, email, and video calls without physical interaction with devices. Smart home integration enables independent control of lighting, appliances, schedules via neural command. So this is very cool. I love the BCI technology and where we're going. I don't know if you're going to get ecosystem lock-in if you get the Apple brain control interface versus the Google one or whatever Elon's doing. So I love that this technology is moving because it's really a game changer for many people in our society that will allow them to do so much more.
Yeah. And just to kind of compare, because we talked that this has 16 electrodes, Neuralink's N1 chip has 1,024 plus electrodes. So it does offer higher electrode density, which allows for more precision. But as we just talked about, their approach, their endovascular approach, that enables faster clinical progression because it reduces surgical complexity and risk. So it'll be interesting to see how it compares as far as performance wise with the Neuralink N1 because of the added electrodes, but we'll have to see.
So we know that we've seen, we're starting to see robot wars where not the old robot wars, but actually humanoid robots fighting each other. We've seen the robot human marathon. Are we going to see, some sort of e-games with BCI controlled interfaces that have, Neuralink versus the Apple versus something where they're all playing? Like you can go, and I can't remember, I'd have to go back and look at it, but there's videos of the Neuralink or at least one of the Neuralink people who plays Civilization at the hardest level using the Neuralink stuff. So
yeah,
the demo is cool, but what does that really look like, right?
Yeah.
So let us know what you think. Jugular, drill a hole in your skull and plant a chip that kind of rides the bubble in your brain, or some other technology. Are any of these technologies going to be the next thing? Do you like the idea of implants controlling devices? Again, this starts to flip around quickly to when do you stop controlling the devices and the devices start controlling you? But that's a topic for another day. Leave your comments below. We'd love to hear what you think. The Darwin Monkey Project, known in Chinese as Wukong, represents a state-of-the-art neuromorphic computing system developed at Zhejiang's University, the National Key Laboratory for Brain Intelligence. This remarkable achievement in brain-inspired AI technology demonstrates how far neuromorphic computing has advanced in recent years. The evolution of this technology showcases impressive progress in artificial neural networks. The Darwin Monkey AI system builds upon the foundation laid by its predecessor, the Darwin mouse, which was developed in 2020 with 120 million artificial neurons. The technological leap from Darwin mouse to Darwin Monkey AI represents an extraordinary advancement, featuring over 16 times the neuron count of the earlier system. What's going on here, John?
Yeah. So before we dive into it, current computers use what's called the von Neumann computer architecture. So that it's got 5 key components. It's got a CPU, it's got a memory unit, input unit, output unit, and a bus system to carry all that data around. So the Darwin Monkey represents a fundamental departure from the traditional von Neumann computer architecture because of its implementation of spiking neural networks, or SNNs. So unlike conventional artificial neural networks that use continuous analog values, this is cool. The Darwin Monkey operates through discrete electrical spikes, and that mirrors biological neuron firing patterns. So each of the 960 Darwin 3, and Darwin 3 is the chip, neuromorphic chips contain 2.35 million spiking neurons, and they communicate through event-driven asynchronous spiking timing rather than synchronized clock cycles like in a typical computer. So this approach, it implements leaky integrate and fire, LIF, neuron models where individual neurons, they accumulate charge over time and spike when reaching threshold values, and then propagate information through synaptic connections. So the system's 100 plus billion synapses feature plasticity mechanisms that enable real-time learning and adaptation, with synaptic weights modifying based on STDP, which is spike timing dependent plasticity rules that mirror, get this, biological learning processes. This is super cool. This is scary as F, though. What are your thoughts?
It's scary. Definitely interesting. I like that we're looking at all these different options. Like at approximately 2 billion pulse neurons and over 100 billion synapses, it operates at approximately 2,000 watts under typical conditions, demonstrating that it's markedly efficient for AI at this scale.
Yeah.
So overall, the concept is scary, but they're saying, oh, well, hey, this is a very efficient way of processing AI stuff. So there is things in here that we can extrapolate and use for good, as well as the evil of AI taking over the world and thinking more like humans and whatnot, which is what it's leading towards.
Yeah, this is getting us closer to like AGI. This is so. Just for those of you that don't know, we didn't cover this though. Intel actually, they developed a neuromorphic computing system called HoloPoint,
Yep.
and it's the first large-scale neuromorphic system to demonstrate state-of-the-art computational efficiencies. But this beats that. It surpasses it, where HoloPoint has 1.15 billion neurons. The Darwin monkey from China has 2 billion neurons and consumes less power. So I don't know like what X that is as far as like having almost double the neurons, how much that increases, but they beat it. So it's great that we've got two. Hopefully, Intel continues to develop it, because I know you and I talked about this, where the CEO is like, "Oh yeah, we kind of lost the race," kind of thing. But I hope that they're still doing R&D on things like this.
Yeah, I don't know. Everything I read on Intel says they're friggin' done. So we'll see if they're gonna, come out of the ashes. But besides that, back to this, the Darwin AI monkey can simulate brains of various species, from worms to macaws, enhancing neuroscience research. And simulation capabilities support drug discovery by modeling biological process with improved accuracy over traditional methods. And neuromorphic systems could surpass traditional computing and parallel processing for certain brain-like workloads. Healthcare benefits include advanced understanding of neurological disorders, developing targeted treatments faster, and scaling neuromorphic systems to the size require solving unprecedented engineering and synchronization challenges. So the macabre brain simulation marks a milestone in bridging neuroscience theory and functional engineering systems. So it's interesting to see, we got the mouse, we got the monkey, we got the macaw. I'm not going to question their naming functionality through all of this stuff, but it's interesting how they're progressing this and how far are we away from more advanced, to say potentially a human brain.
Yeah, well, just to kind of link it to kind of real world. So this isn't just a research demonstration. It's apparently successfully running DeepSeek's LLM, and it performs logical reasoning, content generation, and mathematical problem solving. So beyond AI, like we talked, it can simulate entire animal brains, like you talked about, but it can run an LLM very efficiently.
Yeah, good point. I didn't mention that it's already running DeepSeek and working great.
Yeah. So I wonder, like, the possibilities are endless with this. I can't even fathom what the possibilities are with this if they get this into a working commercial kind of product.
Yeah, achieving biological scale simulations positions AI to explore consciousness and cognition scientifically, not just computationally. So this is really, really interesting, and it seems to point to this being the next generation in AI breakthroughs.
Yeah.
Systems capacity to simulate biological process could accelerate development of new medications. Like we already talked about how AI figure out finding new proteins, finding new medicines, finding new stuff. And now you're putting it on steroids and simulating the human brain. You're going to be able to amp that up so much faster. The world is going to be changing faster than ever. Like when we went from when we went to the information age, everything changed so much in the last 100 years, faster than the previous. I think the next 100 years is going to be so much faster than the previous 100 years that we won't be able to keep our socks on, for lack of a better metaphor.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you, I would love to know what you think about the monkey brain and this whole neuromorphic AI revolution. Is this the future? Do you think you're looking forward to having one of these computers, or do you think this is kind of the end? This is, the cross between everything we're doing with AI, connecting everything, and neuromorphic AI is where Skynet comes. Like, we're just building it in front of everybody without hiding it. Let us know what you think. Did I lose you, John? Uh-oh.
Oh, hey.
You're back. Like, you froze. I was expecting a comment at the end of that last one, and then nothing. I'm like,
sorry, yeah.
And no problem. It happens. It is the internet.
Are we still okay?
Yeah, I'm going. I'm just got something I got to do here. All right, do that, and let's go. The search for a better vaccine delivery methods has been ongoing for decades.
Banner.
Traditional needle-based injections. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, the banner.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Sorry, you said something. I'm like, what?
Sorry.
Oh, no problem. I appreciate you.
Use it as a checkpoint.
Yeah, I do, and that's great. The search for better vaccine methods has been ongoing for decades. Traditional needle-based injections, while effective, create barriers that prevent many people from getting vaccinated. Needle phobia prevents up to 25% of adults and 63% of children. This fear keeps millions of people from receiving life-saving vaccines. Additionally, needle-based systems require training healthcare workers, proper storage, safe disposal methods, resources that aren't always available in remote or low-income areas. Now we're introducing the rise of alternative delivery systems. The scientists have been developing various needle-free vaccines, approaches that solve these problems. Nasal sprays that deliver vaccines through the nose, oral vaccines taken through the mouth, skin patches that deliver vaccines through the skin, and inhalation devices that deliver vaccines to the lungs. Each method has shown promise, but also comes with unique limitations and challenges. Now comes along a new technology, dental floss vaccines. What's going on here, John?
Yeah. So the breakthrough with this is it targets a specific area where your teeth meet your gums, which is called the junctional epithelium. So it's a natural leaky tissue, and it's designed to let immune cells patrol for bacteria. This same permeability makes it perfect for absorbing vaccine molecules. So in animal tests, mice that received flu vaccines via dental floss were completely protected from lethal flu exposure. The method worked better than putting vaccines under the tongue and was just effective as nasal spray vaccines, but without the brain safety risks. So even more impressive than this, it worked with multiple vaccine types, including mRNA, proteins, and inactivated viruses. So in human trials with food dye, it showed that about 60% of the material reaches the target area when flossing, suggesting that this could work in people too. And so the vaccines would simulate both bloodstream immunity and mucosal immunity. So this is really cool because the JE, or the junctional epithelium, it represents a unique anatomical structure, which is located in the, I'm going to get detailed here, gingival sulcus. So I don't know if you know, when you're flossing, there's like, you have to get in between the gum and the tooth when you're flossing. You got it, like, so that's what they're talking about. Unlike other epithelial barriers that maintain a very tight junction between integrity to prevent foreign molecule penetrations, the JE exhibits a naturally increased permeability due to its specialized role in oral immune surveillance. So it lacks the robust barrier that you would see in other things, which makes it perfect for this. What are your thoughts? Would you use dental floss to get your flu vaccine instead of getting the needle?
I think yes. Definitely interesting concept here. Most impressive that 100% of the vaccinated mouse that were vaccinated through this floss method, the musical vaccine delivery method, when exposed to a lethal dose of influenza virus, they all survived. Right, the survival rate matched or exceeded traditional vaccination methods.
Yeah.
So 100% of these survived after doing this and exposed to a lethal injection in mice. So that shows a lot of promise. I don't like needles. So as per previously surgical and all that stuff, I just don't, it's not a thing I like. Um, and we can talk about that offline at any time. So I would definitely prefer a floss based one. But I guess the question is, how often do you have to floss? Is it just once? Is it how often? How do you know the delivery is happening? Like with a needle injection, it's careful dosage. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know if can tell 100% that you're getting the right. Did you get in between the thing, eat your teeth long enough? Did you get it enough?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Did you know? Did you cover this? Did you say what percentage of the population has needle phobia? You're on mute. You're muted.
Sorry, yes, I mentioned it. It's 25% of adults and 63% of children.
That's crazy. Yeah. So imagine this. Like, yeah, I'm curious to know because I don't know if you floss, but I use those floss wands. They're not the best.
Yes.
But hey, if you could buy a floss wand with an mRNA vaccine on it instead of getting a needle, hey, yeah. And I agree with you as far as do you like my question is, do you have to floss every single tooth for it to be effective? Can you just do one? Do you have to do it more than once? Like there's a lot of questions, right? But I think those questions will be answered once they get to the actual human trials and they see what the efficacy is and all that sort of stuff. And they come up with the right protocol, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the floss-based vaccine proves superior to subliminal delivery under the tongue and nearly as effective to intranasal vaccines, the nasal spray. But
Yeah.
the floss method avoids the risk of vaccine materials reaching the brain because the nasal vaccines have a risk of hitting the brain.
Yeah. And so it's not just a clever idea, though, because this was actually published in Nature Biomedical Engineering with a lot of animal data. So we're talking about like, I don't know how this compares to like getting the actual flu vaccine via a needle, but doing this in the mice when they were doing it talked about complete protection, not just reduced symptoms. So I don't know how that compares to getting an actual needle vaccine, but this is a potential game changer, especially logistics wise, right? You can just deploy dental floss wands instead of people having to go into, or you can just go pick up a dental floss wand instead of having a nurse having to poke you.
Human feasibility studies showed that approximately 60% deposition of fluorescent dye in gum pocket using floss picks. The result demonstrates that humans can successfully deliver materials to the gingival sulcus using simple flossing techniques like the floss picks that we know and love.
Yeah.
It's naturally permeable. It's a rich blood supply. It's immune cell presence and early access for this stuff makes it all perfect for this delivery. There's no indication that you needed to do this a whole bunch of times. It's just we don't have any indication as to if you coat the floss and do it like that seems like a lot less material than what you would get in a needle. So it's just how much do you need?
Yeah, exactly.
So this is great. I love the fact that the key benefit is we're dealing with needle free, and that we have it seems to be needle phobia, improve accessibility so that These kind of coded picks could be delivered anywhere in the field versus, say, cities where they can get injections and whatnot more readily available. Like if you're shipping them, you don't have to worry about them breaking, don't have to worry about all these things. Current limitations and concerns. The approach faces several limitations. Age restrictions. Method cannot work on infants and toddlers who haven't developed their teeth yet. Oral health variables, gum disease, oral infection, other dental problems could potentially affect the vaccine delivery effectiveness. Technique standardization. While basic flossing mentioned is familiar, delivering vaccine requires more precision than routine dental hygiene. The healthcare provider would need training to provide consistent. So a healthcare provider would have to do this, which is good. Well, I don't know, good, but is a thing. Limited human data. Current research is primarily based on animal studies. While the floss vaccine mice results are encouraging, human immune systems may respond differently. So comprehensive clinical trials are essential before this method can be approved for research. So large-scale clinical trials may confirm immune response, gum disease impact investigation. They're starting to understand that and research that, and routine integration planning, the possible incorporating vaccination into regular dental visits represents an exciting opportunity rather than having a separate, you can get your vaccination while you're getting your teeth cleaned.
Yeah.
So any final thoughts on this?
No, this is cool. I definitely sign up for this. So, yeah,
I definitely sign up for this too. And so let us know what you think. Dental floss vaccines, traditional needle, or something else is the future. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are and whether you would jump on this versus traditional needle delivery. Oh, wrong one. Oh, I don't see that here. Oh, okay. I see why. I have a pop-up and sometimes I click on it by accident. It takes me away from the page. All right, here we are. Lithium ion. Hang on. Do I got that? Yeah. Lithium ion batteries power most of our devices today, but they have big problems that scientists need to solve. These batteries use lithium, which becomes harder to find around the world. The more people want electric cars, energy storage, we're running out of this important material. The biggest issue is how these batteries work. Lithium ion batteries can only use ions that carry one positive charge. This limits how much energy they can store. Think of it like a bucket that can only be filled halfway. There's wasted space that could hold more storage. Scientists have discovered that multivalent ion batteries could solve this problem. These new batteries use ions that carry 2 or 3 positive charges instead of 1. This means they can store much more energy in the same space. It's like upgrading from a small bucket to a large container. The battery material alternatives focus on finding abundant materials like magnesium and zinc. These materials are much easier to find than lithium, and they could help create sustainable next generation batteries that don't rely on rare materials. What's going on here, John?
Yeah. So the NGIT research team, what they did was they employed a sophisticated kind of dual AI approach, which combined a crystal diffusion variational autoencoder, or CDBE, with a fine-tuned LLM to overcome the fundamental challenge of exploring vast materials in the design space. So I don't know why they needed this. So I didn't really do a deep dive, but this is really interesting. So the CDVAE component, it was trained on a bunch of data sets of known crystal structures, which enabled it to generate completely novel materials with diverse structural possibilities by learning the underlying patterns of atomic arrangements and bonding preferences in stable materials. So the way the system works is through a diffusion process that moves atomic coordinates toward lower energy states while simultaneously updating atom types to satisfy bonding preferences between neighboring atoms. So that's the CDVAE. Now, the LLM component was specifically tuned to identify materials closest to thermodynamic stability, which is obviously a critical factor in determining whether theoretical materials can actually be synthesized in laboratory conditions. So the dual approach that they did allowed the AI to simultaneously optimize for both structural innovation and practical feasibility, which dramatically accelerated the traditionally slow trial and error process of materials discovery. And what they discovered, like what you said, was multivalent ion batteries, which represent a fundamental departure from this lithium ion technology. Um, so this is cool. I like how their approach to this, and this is the stuff that I like. And I know we've covered things where they've had LLMs do drug discovery and different things like this. I love it that they're using it for battery technology. Although we have covered a bunch of different battery technology, right?
Yes, it seems a regular thing because let's face it, it's a limiting factor in our world today. Our existing batteries, and we've been promised new and improved batteries for years and years and years. And it seems like they're right around the corner, but it's felt like it's been right around the corner, like for how long now?
Forever, yeah.
Yeah. And like we've had the iPhone for how long, and we get like a couple hours extra battery life every,
Yeah. And that's only because of increased efficiency in the chips for the most part, not because they're implementing a little bit larger battery, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's larger, but it's not significant change in battery technology. They just more battery, less power from other stuff, and we get more efficient at those things. So when better battery technology actually comes along, it's going to be exciting. So this is great. I love when AI gets involved and finds new discoveries. I was not expecting this to be one of them, that it was finding new battery technology. So Discovery Materials passed important tests using quantum mechanical simulations and stability checks. This means the AI didn't just guess, it found materials that scientists believe will actually work in real batteries. So it's a scale. This is amazing. And the smartphones, laptops, and tablets could run for days without charging. Power companies could store renewable energy much more efficiently. Cars could travel 500 to 800 miles on a single charge. So this type of technology could change how, we work today.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But my question is, like, how feasible is this versus the other battery technology that we've been covering?
Well, it's another race to the standard. So like with all these industries, there'll be a standard or two, right? Like we all adopted AAA, AA batteries as an example.
Yeah.
And the devices use those types of things. We've all kind of come to grasp with lithium ion and how to do it. We'll all come to grasp with one of these technologies. What will it be? Will it be the stretchable batteries that we got in the other one that we talked about before? Will it be something like this? I don't know. But I'm really looking forward to it. But it is a VHS versus beta kind of situation or DVD versus Blu-ray, or HD DVD versus Blu-ray, where one technology wins out, and that might not quite be the case in power or batteries, just because we have EVs and we have portable electronics and we have large scale battery that we need for environmental, for storage. We talked about chemical battery, we talked about environmental batteries that are size of a football field that change the gas status inside it, and that stores energy and then slowly releases it. There's all these types of batteries out there and different types of requirements for them. Like storage for a city is different than storage for a home, or storage for a laptop, or storage for so we're going to see a few, but it'll only be a couple of those technologies, because the industry will standardize. We'll have factories that we'll know how to put out fires related to that. Like the industry standardizes just for efficiencies.
Yeah.
I don't know which ones are going to win, obviously,
Exactly.
but this kind of stuff is great as we start to move forward. We may see leapfrog. We are probably going to see a few years of different competing technologies as they hit the market. But, everything we see is 5 to 10 years out. This is still a ways away. But I really like where we're heading with all these. It's just, what is that saying? And someone's going to remind me. There's liars, there's filthy liars, and then there's battery engineers. And
Yeah.
so it's when you're dealing with this stuff, they always overpromise and underdeliver. And I feel that we're getting a lot of that when we talk about this new technology. But I'm hoping that we do see some stuff around the corner. I don't know if this will be the future. Like we talked about supercapacitors, which seem very attractive, but maybe not for everything. So we'll have to see which ones win. But I do love the fact that we're using multiple AI systems to find and then test these new technologies.
Yeah, same here.
So let us know what you think. Is this the future? Or is there something else that's going to come? We talk about battery technology all the time. Let us know if there's a battery technology you think will win out. Would love to hear your thoughts. Imagine a spacecraft that could travel to distant stars without massive fuel tanks. This isn't science fiction anymore. Propellantless propulsion represents a revolutionary approach to space travel that generates thrust without ejecting mass, completely different from traditional rocket fuels that burn and expel gases to create momentum. At the forefront of this space travel breakthrough stands the Mach effect gravity assist mega drive, a groundbreaking concept developed by physicist Jim Woodward. We have to say, be careful how we say that these days. This innovative propulsion system promises to transform how we explore deep space, potentially making interstellar missions not just possible, but practical. What's going on with this mega drive, John?
Yeah, so it's a provocative, provincially revolutionary idea, but falls into, let's call it, the speculative territory, because it hasn't been independently validated. So this joins a long lineage of bold propulsion ideas that challenge physics and underscores the vital role of skepticism in science. So practical. Let's dive into this for a second here. So it's inspired by Ernst Mach's physical principles, which also influenced Einstein. So Woodward's approach uses rapidly oscillating piezoelectric crystals, which are materials that expand and contract under electrical charge, to generate tiny mass fluctuations. So if synchronized correctly, these fluctuations could generate a net directional thrust without expelling mass. So early experiments at CSU, California State University, Fullerton, they reportedly detected small amounts of thrust using the mega drive. And so Woodward kind of hypothesized that if correctly optimized, such a system could even counteract Earth's gravity, which suggests true propellantless propulsion. But obviously, there's a lot of scrutiny around this. There have been prior attempts like the EM drive, which we covered. So what are your thoughts on this? Vapor science, or do you think there's something here?
I think this is science fiction, but I love anytime we can talk about piezoelectric crystals that are at the heart of this system undergo the rapid oscillation that creates mass fluctuations. Like, I love the concepts here. The basic principles that govern the mega drive.
Not mega.
Yeah, mega drive.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I said we have to say it carefully. Yeah. But the concepts are really cool. But we're gonna get comments that say, "Yeah, this is science fiction and it can't happen because of this, this, and this." Because I'm not a physicist expert in this area. I love the concept, but here, this is why scientists are skeptic. Many scientists remain unconvinced because experimental challenges, thermal effects that could create false thrust readings, vibration artifacts from laboratory equipment, electromagnetic interference affecting sensitivity measurements, measurement precision issues with extremely small thrust output. So The concept appears to challenge the conservation of momentum principle, one of the physics' most fundamental laws. This principle states that momentum cannot be created or destroyed in a closed system, making propellantless propulsion theoretically impossible according to classical physics.
Yeah.
But, you know, we live in a quantum physics world now, and quantum physics is magic.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of quantum articles that we could talk about next time, but that are kind of just blowing my mind. But given the advancements in quantum tech, I obviously this is sci-fi, right? But I feel like there is an opportunity, or there is something there that we will create some sort of fuel-less propulsion, if that makes sense.
Fuel-less propulsion is one thing. Propellantless propulsion is something else.
Okay. Yeah. True.
Because, you know,
I would even go as far to say potentially propellantless propulsion, but who knows? Maybe we have to steal it from the aliens that have crash landed on Earth and develop that technology. Who knows?
There's been a lot of claims around this in the past, or like the EM drive. The alternative propulsion concept generated initial excitement, but ultimately failed rigorous testing when independent laboratories couldn't replicate the results. So we'll have to see. I love this. You know, currently, technological breakthroughs include enhanced thruster and mount design has increased the thrust output significantly from these things. Better mechanical coupling components reduces energy loss and improves measurement accuracy. This is all recent breakthroughs that have significantly improved the mega drive's performance. Chirped pulses represent a major advancement in reducing heating issues. These specifically designed electrical pulses prevent excessive temperature buildup. They previously limited these runs. Impedance matched AC input circuits have dramatically improved electrical efficiencies. These circuits ensure maximum power transfer to the piezoelectric crystals, optimizing the propellantless propulsion. So, and frequency scaling challenges remain critical. Currently, experimental models operate at 36 kilohertz, but practical applications require approximately 2 gigahertz, nearly 56,000 times increase. So, we'll have to see. There's a lot of challenges, but we're keep getting breakthroughs that move us closer.
Yeah, yeah. Let's hope that one of these breaks through.
So let us know what you think. Is propellantless propulsion science fiction, or is it the future? We just haven't got there yet. We'd love to hear your comments. So what do you got going on, John?
Yeah, I guess it's coming out maybe September. So we've got Startup Drinks. We've got Elevate. Well, that's beginning of October, but and Flowgrammer event.
Yeah, we have those monthly now. So check out if you're doing business operations and AI or in the Toronto area, check out flowgrammer.ca for all our events. We do low code, no code, also vibe coding events where we just get together, demo stuff, have great conversations. It's really a good time. Startup Investor Drinks will be back. Come out and see that, where startups get to pitch. It's open pitch, open bar. There's investors always in the room, and it's always a great discussion. We always have stuff going on. Check out torontostarts.com. Check out flowgrammer.ca. And John, if they want non-dilutive funding, where do they go?
Yeah, find me on LinkedIn, John Irwin. It's the best way. Reach out, send me a message, add me, whatever. Yeah, it's the best way if you have any questions about non-dilutive funding. This is coming out in September. FedDev should be open, but and maybe can export. So yeah, but if you need any help with anything else business related to your startup, where do they go for you, Craig?
Go to torontostarts.com, startupcoach.ca, but go to torontostarts.com for everything that we do. You can book a call with me there, either with Flowgrammer for business AI automation, or if you want to accelerate your business with some startup coaching. It's all there. Love to hear from you. Love to have your feedback. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.